All right, this is day 19 of my learning Japanese using AI challenge, primarily using ChatGPT. And for the videos that I've recorded so far, I've recorded pretty much every single one of them, I believe. And now it's been one missed day that I did not record. So yesterday I practiced with my native source, and what we did was basically Hatsuon practice with ChatGPT's generated conversation. So I'll bring it up right here. And what I had ChatGPT do, what I realized my mistake with ChatGPT back then was that I wasn't really using it in the best way. In my opinion, I mentioned this in the previous video, the best way to use it is actually the chat aspect of ChatGPT, where it generates conversations and you practice it and generates like common conversations. So when you practice it, it's going to be stuff you use like very often if you are actually speaking Japanese. So to me, that's like the whole point in learning a language, to actually use it. So what I had ChatGPT do yesterday was generate a whole bunch of conversations, and my native source was generous enough to actually record herself talking like through all of it. So I now have all the voice clips, and I'm just going to do my best to copy it the best I can to sound like a native speaker. And I haven't quite done too much of it yet other than the first conversation, but that's what I did yesterday, is primarily practice the first conversation with Hatsuon, which means pronounce, like how you pronounce it, your accent and all that stuff. So that's day 18. Now let's do 19, where we're going to break down the conversation, learn the kanji so we can learn how to read it in case like it's a text. And also my native source said all of it, or at least the first conversation, was natural. I haven't asked about the other ones yet, but I'm pretty sure she would have told me something if it sounded unnatural. So that's the good thing about ChatGPT, is that it can generate natural sounding Japanese for you to practice with. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to break down this first one. And we have ChatGPT's help to break it down, which ChatGPT is also really good at. So let's go through it. So we also have I believe my phone is connected. Yes. So we can write down and practice kanji at the same time. This is sort of like simultaneous learning. I'm learning a very common conversation. I feel like that's one weakness of like Japanese textbooks in general, is that whenever you show it to someone, it's like, people say it sounds unnatural. It sounds like you're just, you're learning vocabulary, you're learning grammar and all that stuff, but they don't use real stuff that you would actually say, which is confusing to me. Like, why not just start using like real Japanese that you would actually say with people? For this one, it's just like casual conversation with friends. So for me in particular, that's like the most Japanese I use, since I talk to my native source the most and we talk casually. So it makes sense for me to actually learn it this way. For other people, maybe if like you want to talk with strangers or like be in situations where like you're traveling, then perhaps have ChatGPT generate that for you instead, which I probably will do pretty soon for the next ones. But let's do this one. So this one's 네,今度一緒にご飯を食べに行かない? So I'm reading it all broken up because I'm being interrupted by the furigana, and I have to like skip around. So that's kind of annoying. I think I had it do one that not quite. I also asked it to generate multiple conversations. Yeah, there you go. These ones don't have the furigana, so that should be easier for the future ones. But for this one, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Furigana is usually written on top of the kanji, so it doesn't interrupt your flow of reading it. But right now I'm being super interrupted, so I have to like stop. Okay, but let's just go through the breakdown. This is not a Hatsuon practice for today. And I have kondo, which is I say very often actually. I said it a lot when I was in Japanese language school as well. I actually remember telling someone that kondo means next time, and they just did not believe me for whatever reason. But there are certain cases where kondo could mean like now as well. So, but pretty much every time I've used it or heard of it, it's used for next time. So I would just assume it pretty much just means that. But let's go ahead and have a breakdown of the kanji a bit more. Tsugino, I don't know what this is. Chikai uchi ni, next time, soon. Yeah, let's have a breakdown through Wanikani. See, this says kondo, but it means this time. Alternative, next time. You know how confusing that is. Konkai. Yeah, apparently it means this time, but it has the feeling of next time. So most of the time it is like next time. That's, yeah, めっちゃわかりにくい. But whatever. This is konkai, which means this, like this time. I hear it in Nihongo no Kontepe a lot. His podcast, he says konkai a lot in the early episodes. I'm on like 120 now, and I'm like kind of hooked on it. It's pretty good. Like he has good energy, and he also does like subliminal messaging telling you to like, you know, always listen every day and stuff. So like your brain's like, yeah, man, I should listen every day. It's kind of interesting how your brain just like wants to do what other people say sometimes, like if they say it in a very nice and convincing way. Okay, so let's see. Kon, ima. I'm trying to figure out, like, this one's kind of just recognizable, so I don't think I really need to worry about it. It's very, very recognizable. So I don't care too much what the radicals are. It's just that hat looking thing with that. That kind of looks like ra, actually. So good enough for me. And then this one's the one that's more interesting. Degree and stool. Yurt? What is that? What does yurt mean? There's a canopy with a little table and seats inside. What is yurt? Oh, wow. This is like a word I never knew existed. Okay, got it. Canopy, and then like a U with a cross. Okay. Stool and U with the tomodachi, and also an and in Han, anti. Okay, got it. We'll just write it really quick. And this is kondo. All right, we're not gonna waste too much time trying to fully memorize it. Again, my goal is primarily to just be able to read it, and I think I can do that. Now, kondo. Isho. Isho I can read, but it's just because of this right here. And perhaps the ito looking kanji. I can recognize the ito looking kanji. But I don't need a breakdown of it because I know everything based on previous breakdowns now. So I can write it, I, and then the ito one, which means thread, and then the earth one, earth radical with a little slash, and the sun radical. And that's isho, sho, together, isho ni. I still kind of want to know what Wanikani says about this this kanji though. It doesn't say. Kani. Okay, together, thread, and someone. Why is this someone? You thread someone. This radical is the same as the kanji. It means someone. What is the way of saying it then? Okay, that's coffin. Interesting. I just need to know how to read it though. Mono, sha, sakusha, isha. Oh, it's an isha as well. Gakusha. Okay. This is what I like. I like knowing that it's in words that I know. Like that to me like feels good because it's like I'm learning multiple things at once. And sakusha, I can know now because I know that saku is the kunyomi, not kunyomi, the onyomi of tsukuru, this kanji right here that is in sakubun or seisaku. Like it's all coming together, and I really enjoy when that happens. And then we have ryo right here, ryosha, both people, ryosha. Okay, so I can recognize the first two now, and then I know this kanji as well, gaku, gakusha. So it's like person almost, someone. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that I looked it up because it gives it so much more meaning now compared to just like reading this, like this is isho and that's it, right? Like knowing how this radical or the right side of the kanji is and how it fits into other kanji, it's so helpful. Like I don't understand how I don't know. Like back when I did kanji in language school, I'm not sure why they didn't do it more often. Like maybe because the kanji we were learning were a little bit too simplistic, so we didn't quite get to kanji yet that had like other kanji in it. But yeah, this one's it's super helpful to know like what each thing is. Okay, so we got to do that each time. We got to just look it up, even if we're like, oh yeah, I can recognize it. It's not good enough. I think that's what I'm learning. Okay, let's keep going. And this is Yuhan. And also when I was looking stuff up from before, I remember I looked up some resources that contain like individual word pronunciations, and I feel like those could be useful. But for now I won't need them because my native source has basically spoken it for me, and I can just copy her intonation, so it should be fine. Yuhan. So we got the nighttime radical, nighttime kanji, and then I don't know what that one is, the one on the right side. It looks similar to nomu, but let's just look it up. You bet. Han. I'm kind of surprised that it's not one of the common ones. Okay, it means meal. I'm assuming that's like shoku. Let's go for... It has eat, and it also has anti in it. Yeah, that is the anti kanji. I don't know why, I just like always overlook this one. This one just looks so like ordinary to the point where it's kind of hard to recognize. You know, it's like, at least for me. But this is return. We've done this one before, but I can't like seem to recall how to use it. There you go. Kaesu. Slide back, give it back, return something. And then henji. This by itself is what again? I need to know just by itself. I literally just saw it, but cliff and stool, onyomi han. So hantai, hanse. Is there anything else I can know other than... No, just this one is the primary one that I know. Okay, but it has that meaning, so we need to remember it, the anti one. Okay, so it has eat and anti. Don't know why they're together to form meal, but that's fine. I keep forgetting that nomu looks slightly different from the regular one. It doesn't have these tail thingies. Let's just write it for practice. It has this instead. So that's nomu. Okay. And then this contains the anti thingy like that. And that should be meal. Meal. Yes. Show me meshi. Meshi. Meshi means meal, huh? Gohan. Asa gohan. Ban gohan. Hiru gohan. What is shokuji then? I'm gonna just type in shokuji. Guess I'll just type it in Google. Kuji. So it's part of the same kanji as tabe or eat. Oh, it's right here. I'm so stupid. Okay. So it's different from the meal I was thinking of. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. Tabe, taberu. All right, we know that one. And then ikanai. All right, we know that. Sweet. We have finished the first sentence. Oh my goodness. Also, the first sentence doesn't have any particles. That's because it's casual speech, but my native source says to just add the particles anyways in my head, just so I can practice them. Sometimes they're dropped, most of the time, but if you're just talking casually, but you can add like ol, for instance, right here, and it's like, doesn't change too much, I guess. Okay. Ine, itsu ga tsugoi. So you have the same radical that we just learned, the kanji on the left side, and then the building radical on the right side for tsugo. And then this one means match, I believe. Right here. City and capital. You know what? This is like the same kanji as in Kyoto, right? Yeah. Okay. Still, I kind of want to look it up. I feel like at this point, this is just the rhythm. So it means one's convenience, at your convenience. Tsugo.
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 All right. So this means metropolis. Okay, these two combined means tsugo ine. Itsu ga tsugoi. All right, let's keep going. Konshu. 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 The second kanji is what we want to look at, but I also kind of want to hear this.
Konshu.
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 Konshu. So Wanikani has some readings, so we can...
Konshu.
Konshu. It's the Tokyo accent though, so it might be slightly different from my native source since Kyoto is where she's from. Okay, Konshu. All right, let's write this down a couple of times. Scooter 1, earth, and then a kuchi symbol under that. This means circumference. It literally means circumference. Okay, earth and mouth. I'm just drawing sort of like a almost box around it. Somehow means circumference. Okay, and then we have scooter, movement, radical. So it's like almost like a circle, I guess, for the week, indicating some cyclic type of feeling. Use a scooter to travel the circumference of the world. It will take you a full week. Okay, so we got the scooter, then we got circumference. All right, so that's konshu. Konshu.
Konshu.
Konshu no kinyo. 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 Kinyo toka do. Kinyo toka do. All right, so right here is kinyo. It's basically like the casual way of saying kinyobi. And this kanji right here is the one that we need to break down. We know gold, kin. We learned that in language school. And is this actually Turkey? All right. Then we have the sun radical, and then 2 of the yos. Okay, it doesn't mean Turkey. It just looks like a turkey. What does it mean? Just go to the kanji tab right here. Type this in. Radical that represents a short-tailed bird. Okay. All right. Visual connection, concept of birds, flight, something fleeting or numerous depending on the character. Very interesting. Seems to be in a fair amount of kanji. When this says nan, is it also muzukashi? Or yes, it is muzukashi. So this Turkey kanji radical thing is pretty common. Should definitely Make sure I learn it properly. 難しい.
し、
難しい。
難しい. Alright, I think I got it. Now that I can think of it in terms of its parts, it's not too overwhelming. 1, 2, 3, a dot, wrong side? Yeah, wrong way, of course. It's 4, not 3. Oh my gosh. 3, 4. Okay, I wrote this terribly. Alright, one more time. A bit longer. And then these 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And that's the yo. Alright, I think I got it. Sweet. I always looked at it, but like quickly glanced at it and then, you know, depended on the left side and the right side and was like, okay, that's kinyobi. I don't know what the heck is written in the middle, but it's kinyobi. So it's good to actually like break it down and now actually fully know how it's written and what's going on here. It feels like the thing that I've always been ignoring, I've finally like acknowledged it. All right, let's move on. So back to the texting thing. Did I end up on the bottom? This is annoying. Let's zoom out to find out where it is. We will get to all these conversations soon. Okay, finally. So toka is like, it's literally like when you say like this or like, what about like Friday is how my native source described it to me. I hear it a lot and I learned it in one of the previous sessions and I hear it a lot in Nihongo Kontepe as well. Very, very commonly used, toka. Okay, moving forward. 金曜か。ちょっと予定が入ってるんだよね。入ってるんだよね。他の日はどう? Okay. For the most part, I can read and know everything. 予定 is something I learned in language school as well, but I actually never paid attention to the kanji that much. I did not realize it looks like that. For some odd reason, I always thought it was like connected in a different way, but that's a very interesting way of connecting it. Lid, and then the thing that also somewhat looks like ashi. All right, we gotta do the thing. We want to be thorough in our studies. Okay, this is plan, yote. We have beforehand and determine. We have ma, and we have street. Why is this street? I guess I can see it if you imagine a GPS, but like that's sort of like almost a lot of kanji, but I would just see this as a street. Cho. Okay, this is ma. Radical is just like the character ma. Okay, got it. For beforehand. It's also for yoyaku. Got it. Yote, yoyaku. I'm just looking through to see like what else I know, but I think that's it. Okay, this is determine. We got the roof thing and then correct. This is atarashi. But it doesn't quite look that way though. Not tarashi, not atarashi. What was I saying? Okay, that is true, right? Yeah. Okay, I think that's good enough for yote. Let's keep going. I never quite looked into this kanji right here, which is hoka. I feel like it's a common enough thing that we should look at it. So it means other, and this is alligator? Or is it just the way they describe it? Yeah, it's just the way they describe it, I think. Nari, considerably. Kanari, okay. It looks like as this. All right, and you just add the person radical to it, and it becomes hoka, which is other, or ta, tanin, ka. All right, let's move on. Okay, right here. じゃあ、土曜の夜は? And then yoru we haven't really looked at much. It has the night kanji, and then the person radical, and then the hat thingy. I feel like we've actually looked at this before, but everything is kind of broken down into radicals that are common enough, so none of these are its individual kanji. I just have to remember that this is how yoru looks like. So with the lid, person, went to radical, and then a dot there. All right, moving on. 土曜なら大丈夫. You know, I haven't really looked at daijobu much, actually. This one's easy enough. This middle one and the third one, I don't really know very well, so let's look it up. Let's actually be really thorough. So height and husband. Jobu, sturdy. It just means height, I guess. Get, used for clothing height and length. Okay.
竹
Take.
竹、
Take. Okay. This one means husband. Husband radical. And the kanji are the same. Otto.
夫
Otto.
夫、
Otto. Okay. It looks like the big kanji, but with like, or it looks like the heaven kanji, but with the thing sticking up, which actually makes it look quite different, surprisingly. Okay, so that's daijobu. Let's write it down. We got big. This one's so generic, I've forgotten it already. And then like that. What was it? No, I don't remember. Okay. It sort of looks like the beginning of na and then a thing over it. So like that. Man, the way I write it is very bad. Okay. Let's just keep going. Nani tabe ni. Okay, we know everything here. Okay. Yakiniku, yakiniku toka do? What about like yakiniku? 久しぶりに行きたいなと思って。久しぶりに行きたいなと思って. That's a very interesting like grammar thing. I guess like you can leave out ru for if you've been like thinking about it. と思ってる, right? と思って. I want to go for the first time in a while. It's a good phrase as well. 久しぶりに行きたい. 久しぶりに行きたいなと. I've been thinking that. Adds a soft tone to the speaker's intentions. Na to. What's the na though? The na is kind of confusing here. I'm gonna go to a different chat because it's gonna be messy if I do it in this one. What does the na mean in between ikitai and... Oh no, I didn't finish. Oh well. So ikitai na can be interpreted as I kinda want to go. I feel like going. The na here shows that the speaker is thinking aloud or reflecting on the desire to go to eat yakiniku, almost inviting a response. Okay, I'll ask my native source about this. But yeah, I mean, I've learned na in the way of like sort of thinking to yourself type of thing. So I've encountered it before. So it does seem to make sense according to what I learned before. Okay, we're almost done. You know, honestly, I don't expect to see too much of yakiniku. I mean, I see niku there, so I can just automatically assume this is yaki. But I guess we'll be thorough. Just really go fast with this one. There's the flame one, and then there's the gambler, and it means bake. Okay, that's a cool looking kanji. All right, good enough. Let's move on. Hisashiburi, this one is a good one, I feel. Long time. All right, so there's a slide, and there's also enter. Forever. AQ. Hisashi. Hisashiburi. Okay, got it. Long time. It's a pretty recognizable one, I feel. So keep going. And then omotte. We've got that one already. All right. いいね。焼肉食べたい。どこのお店にする? どこのお店にする? I can't say it like fast enough for it to sound natural. I need to practice way more. Okay. Maybe I can't read it and say it fast enough because my reading really sucks. But if I just think about it and say it, it might be faster. どこのお店にする? どこのお店? No, I can't. The no and o right after each other is kind of hard for me to enunciate. どこのお店? どこのお店にする? Okay. お店 is something I also learned in language school. We theoretically should not need to look this up, but I'm going to do it anyways. Canopy and fortune. Interesting. Fortune, huh? Okay, that's cool. Got it. So the meaning of this is pretty obvious. So we'll keep going. Okay, that's eki and mae. We know both of those kanji already, so we don't need to do anything with that. And I guess this is just a placeholder name. Eki mae no nani nani te shiteru? Shiteru? Oishii te kiitan da yo ne? Kiitan da yo ne? I heard it's delicious. Okay, yeah, that seems to be right. It's a casual way to say called. Okay. Te omise shiteru? Oishii te. That's a grammar point I haven't learned yet, actually. Oishii te kiitan da yo ne? Adds a tone of expectation, like, you know? Interesting. Okay, I think we're going to take a pause here just because I have to go somewhere. So this was overall a good session. This is what we will be doing for probably the next days until this challenge is basically coming to a close. And then at that point, I'll continue with my study. We'll talk about it once we get there, but this is probably the final version of what we're gonna do for this challenge in terms of just every day. Breaking down the natural sentences. And honestly, what I should do first is like know all of it, like know how to read all of it quickly and practice it with the Hatsuon and everything before actually coming in to break it down, because I feel like knowing the conversation and being able to say it, it'll be better. It'll be easier to just like in my head understand like what means what. But so far it's like it's not that hard. Like everything seems obvious. It's just the way it's said and the meaning seems obvious. It's just the structure of the sentence and the way things are with the added like na right here and the to omotte instead of omotteru and everything like that. The very small differences that make it more like a native speaker speaking in a casual way. And those nuances like make all the difference, because I would not be able to talk like this. I would not be able to like know to talk like this at all So I think it's so cool that ChatGPT can actually help me like get there probably faster. Otherwise I would need to like listen to people talking with each other casually like a lot before getting there. But like with this, I could just directly head there and practice it. So yeah, to me, this seems like the best method. So we'll keep doing it. I'll be able to ask my friends if they want to eat at a yakiniku place in a casual way. So that's cool. All right. Catch you guys in the next one.